Welcome in, Canvas Warriors. So in today's video, I thought I would show you 4 different options. That's 4 different options for linking your Zoom links or your Zoom meetings in your Canvas courses. Now, how you set up your Zoom meetings, how you schedule them, will determine largely how you will set this up, how you set your links up in your Canvas courses. So I'm going to try to cover, the main options that I've heard, teachers using out there. I don't know if I'll cover them all. How you set up your Zoom meetings is, largely a preference thing, especially those recurring meetings. So if one of these options sounds like a good one for you, then I would follow that. So I'm going to show you 4 different options, and they all kind of vary in, different visual ways and options for students to get to your Zoom links. So the first option is, some of you have a lot of the, have periods with, that are all the same class. And you might have, a handful of them. You might have a lot of them. So managing all those different Zoom meetings for different times, that might be kind of a challenge. So for some teachers in those situations, what I've seen is you just have basically one Zoom link, and you use that Zoom link for all of your periods throughout the day. So there's a pretty easy way to add a Zoom link to those classes if that's the way you do it. And I would do it through the blueprint. So that way, it pushes out your Zoom link to all of your courses that are associated with your blueprint. So if you aren't familiar with creating a recurring meeting in Zoom, I would suggest that you check that out. It's in the schedule meeting piece. And when you schedule a meeting, there's a checkbox for recurring meeting. You can set this up to be daily, weekly, monthly, kind of whatever works best for you. Like I said, if you're doing this as just one Zoom link for all of your periods during the day, so you just have the one Zoom link to manage, then I would set it up that way. I would set up the time frame, the duration. Actually, I don't know if you can do those within 4-hour durations. You might try that. It may only let you do it by 1 hour. I don't know if that really matters to put that time in there. But I do know that when you set this up as a recurrence and you put in here as a daily meeting, Zoom will limit how many of those you can schedule, at least as far as I can tell. I haven't figured out a way just to have this, keep going all the way through. I imagine as you have a few meetings, it opens it up a little bit. So if you set the end date here and go down, it only allows you to go to like a certain date in November. So I imagine as you get further into, September, October, those will open up. So I don't know if you have to adjust those afterwards. If someone has found a good solution to that, I'd love to hear it. Okay, so if this is you just have the one link for all of your classes that you teach during the day. Let's show you how to make this real easy in your Canvas courses. We will need to come back to our Zoom page to grab a link for our Zoom meetings, but we'll go ahead and get started first with the first part. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my meetings page and then click over here to my dashboard. And so if you're just doing the one link, just remember one link, I would do this in your blueprint. So click on your blueprint here and you have a couple of different options. You could set this up as an announcement that will, go to it. It'll put it in as an announcement piece on either on your homepage, or students can click on the announcements link and get to the announcements. So in this scenario, you would hit plus announcement, and I would just say up here in the title topic, just say Zoom link for class or something like that, or maybe just Zoom link. And in here in the rich text editor, when you come back to your Zoom piece and you need to copy your Zoom meeting, I'm just going to use this one as an example. Hit copy invitation and then copy meeting. You're going to get all the details of that, all the recurring meetings that come with that, and paste that in there. I tend to delete out all these recurring dates in here. And again, if you figured out a way to do this without the recurring dates and all that kind of stuff come in, I'd love to hear it. Maybe I'm just not doing it right. Before you call this good, though, after you throw this in, you'll notice that your link right here for the Zoom meeting is not active. It's just text. So what you'll need to do before you save that is Control-C or Command-C that whole entire link there. And then in the link URL button, click that and then paste that in there. So then this has all the information, the dial in, numbers and stuff like that for students who, can't get to a laptop or a smartphone, and still has the meeting ID in there as well. So then just click save, and that'll pop in as an announcement. You would want to click the blueprint button, and then from there you would go to your blueprint and then sync those changes, and your announcement would sync out to all of your associated courses. So this is one option, and it's a pretty quick and easy option to get it out to students right away. If you're looking for something a little more permanent and maybe a little bit more, like graphic, instead of just a text-based announcement, I've got another option here. So I'm going to click back over into my home page and just show you kind of what I have set up for my home page. So right in here I have just some brief info and a picture, but at the bottom I've put in these images that are actually set up as links to different parts of my Canvas course. So like the weekly agenda will take students right to their modules page, and they can get there pretty quickly rather than using the sidebar. It's just another navigation tool for students. So basically what I'm going to show you is the same option for a Zoom link. And the Zoom link you might want to put right up at the top. Now this is a page, and in this page over here on the right hand side you'll see this option, choose home page. When you click on that, you'll see that I've created one of my pages is set up as a front page, and so that's what shows up as my home page for students. So to edit this, I just click the edit button. And so what I want to do is I want to put in a Zoom link right at the top. But instead of putting all of the text that I have, for, like I did with the announcements with all the different numbers and stuff, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to insert an image and then just link that image to the Zoom meeting link, basically. So to do that, I'm going to create some space in here up in the top. So I just hit a couple of return spaces there. And then I'm going to embed image in the toolbar. I'm going to click that and then click on Canvas and Course Files. Now I haven't uploaded this image yet, but I do want to upload it into, I have a course image folder here. I also have template images. I'm going to go ahead and put it in this template images because that's where I've been putting a lot of my, kind of standard type stuff. When you'll notice that I have images already in here, but I don't have the image that I'm looking for. So I need to hit the upload file button. And then from here, I'm going to go navigate to my desktop, and I have some folders with some images. I found this Zoom logo and I resized it to about 200 pixels. We can resize it when we put it in to make it a little bit smaller. We're going to kind of see how it looks, but I started at 200 pixels there. So I'm going to click open. And it went in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit update from there. So now I have a nice big Zoom link right in there. It may not be exactly where I want it. I could make this a little bit smaller perhaps. I'm just going to maybe resize it. When you resize it, it should preserve the aspect ratio, so it should be about 150. I'm going to make about 150 pixels there. I probably would design my front piece around this logo, to be honest. But for this tutorial, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it in at the top so you can see how it works. So to link this up, I just click on the image, so it's selected, and you should see a blue bounding box around that logo, and then click to link to URL. So I'm going to click that, and it's going to ask me to put in a link. So I'm going to go over to our Zoom option here, and I'm going to copy that invite link right in there. So I'm just going to copy that whole link and hit Control C. And then over in my Canvas instance, I'm going to paste that link right into the URL. So now this will be an active link for students when they come to my homepage. So when I hit save, it'll look a little bit different. Visually for me, I'd want to play with this a little bit, but students will be able to just click on this and it'll take them right to open Zoom and all that good stuff. So I'm just going to back out of that. So for the third option for linking your Zoom meetings into Canvas, there's a little bit more flexibility in this option. With this option, you can either set it up as one link for all of your classes, and it would, where it's going to go is it's going to go into your nav bar right over here as a link in the nav bar. So you could set that up in your blueprint, and that link would push out to all of your courses. If you wanted to set up separate Zoom meetings for each of your classes, then you can do this option in each of your classes, in each of your courses. So you'd have those different links. I'm just going to show you the way to do it through your blueprint because that probably would be the best or most efficient way of doing it this way. So to do that, you actually have to download an app from the App Store in your settings. So I'm still in my Global Studies blueprint here. I'm going to go back to the settings option in the menu, and then I'm going to click on apps, and it's going to load, and I'm going to type in the filter. It's called the redirect tool. So, or redirect app. And what this will do is when you click on this, it'll say add links to external web resources that show up in your navigation items in a course. So that's basically what I need to do. So I'm going to click the add app. And in the redirect option here, I'm going to give it a name up here. So you could say Zoom. And in the URL redirect, you're going to come up to here, your meeting again, your meeting link, and copy that, and then bounce over and then type that directly into there. I deleted the HTTPS all the way because you don't want to accidentally double up on that. Sometimes that's easy when you copy and paste. So if, for instance, with that highlighted, if I were to just copy the link right after that, it would double up the HTTPS. So that could screw up your link. So make sure you delete that and then paste it in there in full. Okay. Force open, show and course navigation. Go ahead and click that. And I think I'll just hit add app from there. So add app. And then go to your navigation tab, and you might have to hit refresh. And there it is, down there at the bottom. So now when I go to the home page, you'll see, and if I go into student view, so it filters down, they'll have the Zoom link in their navigation bar on the left-hand side. So you've we've got 3 different options here, and they're all great ways. You could even do all 3 options. You could just do the one. It would be, for you to decide like how you're going to, tell your students or teach your students how to access your Zooms. The 4th option, it uses the calendar feature. So I'm going to go ahead and leave student view here. And what's nice about this option is I can do it for individual classes. And I realize that if you have a lot of classes, that might be a lot to manage. So your single link might be your best option. What I've done is in my dashboard, when you go to one of my periods and click in here and click on calendar, actually you don't have to click on any of your courses really, you just go right to the calendar. You'll see that I just have my computer, one of my classes up, and I've filtered it all the way out so it just shows one of my classes. And I've scheduled my Zooms in the calendar. So when you click on this, students get all the same information and the link to our meeting. The way I've set this up is when I go to my schedule and click on my meetings over here, I've essentially created a Zoom link for just each of my periods and put them in the scheduler. And when I did the recurring meeting, I set those up as weekly. And actually I can kind of show you, edit all occurrences here. So when you see I've done this every Tuesday and Thursday, and it goes all the way through the end of the trimester on the 3rd of December. And obviously there are other options and stuff like that. So when you see this, in your meetings or in my meeting schedule, it just, shows up, with basically the times of the periods that I have those. To add a new calendar event or a new Zoom link, you go to the plus create event option up here, the button. Give it a title. For me, I just do the period. If this would be my CSB course, and I would put in the period. So if this might be my Monday Zoomer, my Monday Zoom, put in the time. Make sure that you're on the right calendar. Sometimes if you have your other calendars up, you'll have different options in here, so make sure you're in the right calendar. Click on the More Options button, and this will pull up the rich text editor. So here's where you can come over to your Zoom and click on that and copy the invitation. Copy all those things. It's going to bring in all of the occurrences. I'm going to do this also for Wednesdays, but it's the same process. You just hit Control V or Command V to bring that in. And I just delete out all this extra stuff so it's easier for students to find. And then just like in the announcements part of things, to make this an active link, you have to highlight that, Control C, and then in the link, Control V. Okay. There's another way that you could also throw this in. If you want to, instead of doing it with the link and all this information, I'm just going to go ahead and show you another option, kind of combining one of the other things that we just did. You could insert the Zoom image right in here. So I could click Embed Image, Canvas, Course Files, Course Image, and I'm looking for template images, and I'm looking for that Zoom logo all the way down there in the bottom, probably. Get there. Oh, not showing up in here, so I'll just hit the upload file, just do this over. Must be in a different course I'm in. Click open, that's what it is. 200 pixels, go ahead and hit update, and I'll just leave that in there just the way it is. Click on the image itself, and in the link URL, come over to your Zoom meetings and then copy that link and come on over, paste that in there, and then insert it. And then from here you can schedule this out for the rest of the trimester by clicking the duplicate box there. And if you set this up every week or every day, however this works, this option counts as an occurrence. So if I just go there, just one, 10 total occurrences minus one, and so I put in 9. So, and you can also set those up to be numbered or whatever, but I think we just leave it. So go ahead and hit Create Event. So now after you create it, I can click on that link, and I put it over here on Thursday, even though I called it Monday. I was putting it on today. I wasn't paying attention. It's just that logo that pops right up, and students can just click on that and take them right to the Zoom meeting. So you'll see in mine, and I'm going to go ahead and delete this one so I don't forget about that. You'll see that the way it works is when you hit the repeat occurrence, it'll put it down here. It'll schedule it, on the same day for as many times as you need it. So if I go through to October, it's put all those in. And I did the same thing for Wednesdays, and it looks like these ones also got inserted. So you have to, the only bummer thing is when you add multiple occurrences and you need to change something, you can't change them all at once. You have to go through and change them all individually. So you can see that I'm gonna have to delete all these ones that I just created all the way through. So while I do that, why don't you drop into your own Canvas and see what option is going to work best for you in terms of putting a Zoom link on your homepage. I've given you 4 different options. I guess I'll leave with one of the benefits of doing your Zoom on the calendar like this, even though there is a little bit more work to it. When you come to your dashboard, you will see, and students will see this as well. In their Coming Up tab, it'll show these calendar events for when they have a Zoom. So if they're in Zoom and they see this, they can click right on that link also, and it'll bring them to their calendar, and they can click on the right Zoom to go there. Like I said, find the way that works best for you, and how you operate your schedule of your classes and your Zooms. Every schedule, every person has got a little different situation. So hopefully, all four of those options, out of all four of those options, there's something that'll work well for you and be easier for your students to access your Zooms. So thanks again for watching, and good luck out there, Canvas Warriors.